Alrighty gang, and welcome to Plexus. So today what we're going to be talking about are 3 planning tools when you set out to do your auditing. Now some of these are PFMEA specific, but some of these are DFMEA useful as well. So we're going to be talking about 3 tools that will help you plan and prioritize, mainly strategize, before you go out there and start performing your audit. Now, some of these tools you may be familiar with, some of these sources you may be familiar with, and if you're unfamiliar with those sources, check out our website where we do have these tools and sources and a little bit more information on how to get there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. This first one is a hidden gem. This is what is called a characteristics matrix. Now, a characteristics matrix is a PFMEA auditing tool. And what it does, it distributes the characteristics along the stations that create them. And the reason why this is a strategizing tool, if you only had 2 hours to audit a PFMEA and you had 55 lines, how would you know where to begin? The simple answer is, I personally would start at the station that forms the most characteristics. Because if that station goes sideways, everything suffers. Now, could you argue with me and say, oh yeah, well, what about safety or special characteristics? Cool, if you feel you want to prioritize that way, awesome. There are other sources. For me, the characteristics matrix is a starting point because if I have one station that produces multiple characteristics and that station is in a state of chaos, there's a lot of characteristics that are going to fall. Now, the second thing we're going to look at when we talk about prioritizing and planning your audit is scrap reports. Now, this is both for D and P because scrap, folks, is the earliest, most efficient indicator of escapes. Why do I say that? The only difference between a scrap and a PPM from the customer is your detection station. So if you want to make the most of your time auditing your PFMEA, hit your scrap rate, because if you never make the scrap, you don't have to worry about the escape. From the DFMEA side, how would you use this information? I would look for it as design for manufacturability. So from the design side, how has the manufacturing organization fared with the tolerancing that you've done? Now, the other thing, the third one, cost of quality. Now there's a couple other videos on our site about this. Folks, external and internal costs are the primary drivers of management. So if you're planning your PFMEA audit, if you are able to reduce the internal cost of quality and the external cost of quality, that translates in quality speak to lower customer PPM, which is a good thing, more on-time delivery, which is a good thing, and lower scrap rates, which is a good thing. Back to point 2, which for every piece of scrap that you make, the only thing keeping it in-house is the fact that you may detect it. So when we look at the 3 planning tools, if I'm going to go out and do a PFMEA or a DFMEA audit, I will look at the characteristics matrix to strategize what stations. I will look at the scrap report to get an idea of performance, and I look at cost of quality data in order to get an idea of impact. That's a little bit 3 planning tools as you go to prioritize your FMEA. If you want more about auditing the FMEA, check out our website at plexusintl.com. All right, we'll see you in the next one.